everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and we're back to do the hashtag 50 stack challenge, where you use a whole stack of guest checks to do the challenge. What I wanted to say about this is I've had a lot of people say they don't have guest checks. No need to worry. These measure 6 1/4 by 3 1/2. Use a piece of paper that measures roughly that. It doesn't even have to be that size, because some guest checks aren't this size, they're different sizes. So just use what you got. It's not a big deal to me. I'm just trying to, throw out some prompts so that we can craft together and just have some fun and see what each other are doing. It's that kind of thing. So there's no big fat rules. It's just that you use the one prompt per week really is it. And a guest check was the original thing. But I don't care if you don't have guest checks, because I know some places overseas and stuff don't have them. I didn't know that when I started this, but do now. So just go ahead and cut a piece of paper or use envelopes. Some people, have done envelopes. Yeah, just whatever you want to use. Okay, so let's draw some prompts. Hope you're all doing well. This time we have fabric and let's see, a pocket. So we need to have fabric on guest check. What are we on? 5 and 6, I believe. Let's write it down. So we had we did 3, 4. So this is number 5 and number 6. So guest check number 5 is fabric. However you want to use that, and you can use any other things you want with it. And number 6 is a pocket. So yep, that's it. And I'll be right back, and we will create some fun guest checks. Be right back. Okay, I am back, and I've gotten fabric together, and I have a pocket idea. So this is what we're gonna do. So I hope you guys are all doing good. I'm doing good. Just doing my thing like I do. All right, so the first thing I think I want to do is put some sewing tissue up near the top. So that's what I'm gonna do. Love to use sewing tissue paper for stuff, and plus, like this goes great with the whole fabric thing. So that's what we're gonna do. I might scoot it over just a little so that I can see the 5 really good, since that's the number we're on. Let's get rid of this icky gluey page. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me with this challenge. Those of you that are joining, it's so super fun seeing what you guys are making. And yeah, I'm totally jazzed. And if you don't know what's going on and you're like, what in the world is she talking about? So I'm doing this 50 stack challenge. And the whole idea is to see if in 25 weeks we can make, I'm trying to find the best spot for the 5, oh, not that, to show. In 25 weeks, if we can do an entire stack of guest checks. That was the original premise, so it was a guest check challenge. So that's what I'm doing, and there are other people that are doing the guest check part of it too, but some people can't get guest checks, and I just didn't realize that. So there are other people doing the challenge for 25 weeks with the prompts, but they're using other things like envelopes or paper cut to 6 1/4 by 3 1/2. 6 1/4 by 3 1/2 is what the size of these are. You can use any, it doesn't matter though, roughly that size is fine. It doesn't have to be exactly that size, because a lot of guest checks aren't that size either. There's all different sizes. So anyhow, there are people using other things than guest checks, so you don't have to use guest checks. It's just more using the prompts, which like for this week is fabric. So I'm going to put fabric on my guest check. And that's really the main thing, is using the prompt. And then with the prompts, you can use anything else. Any of your other crafting, items, scrapbooking, journaling, whatever it is you do, paper crafting items or fabric or whatever. So yeah, it's just to see if in 25 weeks we can do an entire stack of 50. Sorry, I didn't mention that. There are 50 guest checks in a guest check stack of this kind. I don't know about other guest checks because these are the only ones that I can ever find. So that's what I use. But just use what you have. You know, I'm not big on rules. Like, I don't like to make it so people can't participate. I just want us all having fun and making some ephemera for journals or whatever it is that we do. So that was the main goal. So I appreciate everybody joining. So every Monday I will draw prompts. I will draw 2 prompts. So this week was fabric and pockets, if you missed the first part there. So one of these guest checks I'm going to use fabric on, and the other one I'm going to put a pocket on. And that's not to say that other times in the challenge you can't use, you know, you can't put a pocket on or you can't use fabric. You can totally do that. It's just you need to have that prompt for that week. That's the rule. There just really aren't a lot of rules. I don't want to make it like that. So I just want to have fun. And it seemed like a fun thing to do. So that is what I'm doing. And I'm ecstatic because people are joining in and it's great. Okay, and then, so what I'm doing, I've just torn all different pieces of Tim Holtz fabric, just all different bits from his fabric. And this isn't Tim Holtz fabric, this is just some fabric that I had, this little yellow gingham. I just like it with the colors. But the rest of them are all pieces from Tim Holtz. And I'm just gluing them down, and then I'll stitch them the rest of the way, and we're going to add a Tim Holtz paper doll people, and then I don't know what else, because that's as far as I got, but I got the fabric all torn down, so I felt like I was doing pretty good. So I hope that was explained good. If you guys still don't get it, just leave it in a comment or contact me on my Etsy shop or whatever, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. I'm not always super great at explaining everything, or I forget bits or whatever. So any questions, just let me know. But yeah, I'm enjoying this so far, and I'll show you what I've done so far if you are just joining in and want to know what in the world. Let me see, where did I put my other ones? So if you post at all on social media, I'm asking that you use the hashtag 50 stack challenge. It'll be all one, you know, kind of word thing. That just makes it easier for me to find if you're doing a YouTube video or Instagram or Facebook, those kind of things. It just makes it easier for me to find and comment or whatever. And then if I do get people who do enough videos, then I'll put them in a playlist, YouTube videos. So first week we did red and paint. So this was the red, this was the paint. So you can see they can be vastly different from each other, but you know, just a fun little thing. And then last week we did blue. So this was my blue. And see, this one has a pocket, and pocket wasn't the prompt, blue was. So you can do them however you want. And then orange. Somehow I ended up getting I drew 2 colors out of the bag. So yeah. So if you want to join in, that would be awesome. We would love to have you join in and see what you're up to. And if you don't want to post anywhere or anything like that, you just want to join the fun, then that's also awesome. You do you, you know. So just all for fun. Yikes. I probably should have put some tissue down there too. I didn't even think about that. Oh well. Okay, so now I'm going to pause. I'm going to do some stitching on here, and then I'll come back and we'll finish it up. Be right back. Okay, I am back. I just set those on there. You can see how I stitched all around all the pieces of fabric, and if I caught the edge of one, I didn't, you know, go over it again. So like on this middle piece, it caught all the edges of those, so I didn't have to go over them again. Oh, I did forget right there. That's okay. The ladies will be glued on there, so I'm not that worried about that. And oh, I did add a piece of tissue down here. You knew I couldn't stop myself, so I went ahead and put a piece down there because I wanted to stitch all the way around. I went ahead and did the corners as well. Okay, so now we're all caught up, I think. I'm going to put the ladies on here. Tim Holtz paper dolls. I'm putting quite a bit of glue because they're just getting glued right onto the fabric, so I think they'll be fine, but because this art glitter glue is pretty wow. Just want to make sure. I'm going to have it like they're sitting on top of the label there. Okay. And I think I'm going to do these, hold on a second, I always get glue all over them and I don't like that. These two ladies are not smiling. She is smiling. So I think I'm going to use this, I meant to behave, but there were too many other options from the snarky comments thing on this small talk. But it is obviously clearly too long, so I'm going to cut it in half. Well, not half, but I meant to behave, comma, and then we'll do the rest. And I'm going to put glue on the back too because it is getting glued onto fabric. So we'll do this one first. And I got ink on the back, shocking. My son's here. If you hear anything downstairs or, you know, in the house, it's him. With his deep voice. Somebody said, I love it when he talks to you with his deep voice. It's like, yes, it has gotten very deep. It's so crazy. Because you kind of always think of them as being little kids, you know. I mean, clearly not, but... just funny. Okay, and then yes.
Are you doing a video?
Yeah, I'm doing a video.
Oh, okay.
That's for photos.
Yeah, from graduation.
Oh.
And then I also got a new kind of debit card. This one's tap now.
Cool. Yeah, we'll get some of those pictures because I like that one of you speaking at your graduation. That's cool. You got a thing to order pictures from graduation. Okay, so there's my fabric one. All right. So then let's move on to our pocket one. And I'm gonna cut. I found another guest check. This one that has the 6, it's not going to matter because I'm going to cut it off anyway, but anyway. It's not the same size, which is so odd because they're the same kind. Maybe this one just shrunk more when it got in the sun. I don't know. What I'm going to do is basically cut between guest and check for this. And I'm going to cut a little closer to check, trying to keep it straight, which is always interesting. Okay. Sorry, motorcycles going and all the things today. So then when I put this on, it's going to be a pocket, but it'll still just look like, you know, guest check. That's the idea with that. Go ahead and ink it. Oh, I should do the thumb notch first before I ink it. I kind of want a large-ish thumb notch. It's got paint. Doing good today. I did just clean everything up too. Again, like I swear, it is a constant. As you all know, if you craft. Because you put everything away and take everything out. And put everything away and take everything out. And I don't know how else to do it, so. I just end up in a perpetual mess. I'm not a great organized person. Like certain things I'm organized with, other things are just a disaster. So yeah. I might go ahead and just trim a tiny bit off this bottom because that isn't going to work for me. I know that's going to change the size of my guest check, but it won't be the same size as the other guest checks, but I guess that's just life. Because I don't like that being a different size. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is kind of just decorate with some scraps, like neutral scraps, sort of like I did the neutral book page, I don't know what you'd call it, pockets and ephemera basically, that I did not too long ago. If you guys watched that video, I do it kind of like that, just some random scraps of stuff. I put my ruler away and now I need it again, because I have got loads of these old paper scraps. So I'll just put some, you know, here and there, and that way this pocket will be decorated up enough to put in a journal or keep or whatever. But yeah, that's kind of a fun way to do the guest check pockets, and you can do the same thing, you know, this direction with them too. Or you can fold up the end too, but that makes the pocket or the guest check shorter, obviously. Yeah, I just have so many scraps. It's incredible. So if I can use some, I'm going to. I know this nice stained, I'm actually going to wrinkle this a little bit because I don't want it to cover up my 6 so that I know what pocket that is. We'll just call it a happy accident, right? Yeah, I just want to use some of this stuff up. That is really blurry. That's crazy. I thought it was my eyes at first. I was like, I'm wearing my glasses. What's happening? But it isn't. It's just the... This is a piece of a sewing pattern, the instructions. I just love the color of the paper when it gets like that, all patinaed. It's fabulous. And I could use a little piece of scrap Tim Holtz tissue here. And you know, a lot of this you're not going to see, but it's fine. It's like any other collaging thing. You're just sort of giving yourself a good background. Well, now it's even more of a scrap. It's even scrappier. I'm just going to wrinkle it a little bit. So let's see where we're at. We need just another little bit down there at the bottom. Might as well go ahead and do these while I'm right here. It's just not wanting to go in there all the way for some reason. That one looks smaller too. Okay. Sorry. Okay, I think we got it now. There's sewing tissue falling everywhere. Do some dictionary page. It's always a fun one. For a different color of you know, background here. Kind of like that 45 right there. Let's take a little bit more off the bottom. Yeah. I want to cover up numbers. I mean, come on. Now that check is down a little bit lower. Well, for some reason those guest checks are a different size, even though they're the same thing. It's weird. I don't know if I want to use this. I want a piece with more stuff on it. Just a little bit. Right here. Yes, I am that particular. But I don't want that little flat part. That one won't get seen, but yep. All right, so I think I'll glue that on. So obviously it would work better if you pull guest checks from the same tablet, but in order to use the whole stack, I don't want to lose these ones, so they'll be exactly the same size, if you see what I mean, but it's fine. It is what it is. Oh, and I gotta cut that corner too, forgot. Okay, there's our pocket. What I'm going to put in it, I don't know. It looks like it needs a little something too, right? Maybe we'll put some Tim Holtz ephemera in it for the sake of time. But of course, if you do yours, you can make some fun pieces to put in there. Oh, this is neat. It looks like an old letter. Okay, and then our little pocket needs something. Let's see. Could use one of these Victorian ladies or gentlemen. He's good putting his shoes on. Maybe I kind of want one of that tall mushroom. I don't know if I have the tall. Oh, there. I like this one because it's so tall and skinny. Yeah. And then is that the same one? Yeah. Didn't know I had two of them. butterfly? No, too big. This one might work. Yeah, I like that one. And we'll do just some little strip of some old paper on there. Move these out of the way. Sorry, I'm just going through my bag of old bits. Spoke wheels. What's on the other side? Spoke wheels. Not like a label. So I finally got this semi-organized. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's all these little deals with stuff I use all the time in it. Oh, I could use one of my this and that labels. It's not as good as some people's. Like I told you, I kind of stink at organization, that's for sure. But at least I'm trying to get things more in one area. I haven't made one of those books that have those ephemera books because I just don't think I've got so many things. I don't know what I would put in there and not put in there and all that. Don't ask me about the spoke wheels. I don't know. I just like it. Somebody's gonna be like, why'd you put spoke wheels on there? I don't know. Just seemed fun. You might not see it anyway because of the butterfly. Gonna use this and that. This is a digital download in my Etsy shop, and it's just little sort of like label things with all different stuff, flowers and rusty bits, and it's just very, very random, but they're kind of fun. So I'd like one of those tall, but that one's too big. Yeah. And there's frogs and birds and I don't know, it's very random. I think that one's actually supposed to go the other way, but it might work to have it. That one would work. Or that one would work. That one has bugs. Yes, they're all very random. I think I'll use the bugs. Okay, so we'll get this inked. Words are kind of like the whole number thing. For some reason they just look good. Even if it doesn't necessarily make sense. It doesn't have to make sense. It just, I don't know, it adds something of interest to a piece, I think is what it is. I mean, it's great if it was a nature thing, but it doesn't have to be perfect, if you know what I mean. Because a lot of it's going to get covered by this butterfly, but it'll just add a little something of interest right there in that spot. My glue's starting to get sticky. We are having the weirdest weather here. They're talking about monsoon, like storm coming in. I'm like, I don't understand. We don't have monsoons. It's just very weird. Or monsoon moisture. No, thank you. He's heating up tacos from dinner last night. Yeah, that will work good. And then we'll put the butterfly up there. Yes. Okay. Yeah, this one's like corrugated aluminum in the background, piece of paper, a couple pieces of paper, bugs, a number. Yeah, they're random. That's why I call them this and that, because they're just little things that I collaged onto there. Digitally. Okay. Sorry, I know these go longer than I ever thought they would, but for some reason it takes me a while to do two of these deals. Oh, I'm like looking and looking. It's right there in front of your nose, Amy. Okay, so there it is. Our pocket and our fabric are finished. And I'll bring them up so you guys can see them. Let me get these back in here. And there's all different sizes, obviously. Okay, we didn't end up using that. Hang that back up. Move the glue. Alright. Got little scraps of paper, but okay, so for fabric, I meant to behave, but there were too many other options. It just made me laugh because she's the only one smiling, the one in the middle. The other two are very serious. So there's fabric, and here is our pocket. Guess check for this week. Two little. So those are kind of fun because then you can just stick that in a pocket. You can still write on the back. So yeah. Anyhow, I hope you guys are enjoying this because I am. And I love seeing what you guys are making. So just use the hashtag, the 50 stack, hashtag 50 stack challenge. If you post on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook. And then that way I'll be able to find it a little bit easier. Or if you tag me like on Instagram, then obviously that way I would see it as well. So anyway, hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day and we'll chat again soon. Love you guys. Bye.